This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin has long been a sycophant of Donald Trump, a shameless bootlicker, like many in Congress, many in the Senate. You got your Ted Cruz's. Yeah, there's all kinds of characters who love the aroma of Donald Trump's butthole. Ron Johnson is one of these figures. Ron Johnson was clearly a part of the scheme to appoint fake electors and have Mike Pence take part in overthrowing the United States government by way of overturning a free and fair election. He denied, he faked a phone call, he's tried to walk into rooms inside the Capitol that are locked, trying to dodge reporters. He's a nefarious character. Hopefully, he gets beat by Mandela Barnes in the general election, and we don't have to deal with Ron Johnson anymore. He's a too cozy to Russia individual in our government who holds power. I'm going to read from The Nation article. Ron Johnson now admits he was part of the fake elector scheme, but the senator from Wisconsin says it's cool because he only participated in the seditious conspiracy for, quote, a couple of seconds. And this is where we are. There's no more room to distance yourself, Ron Johnson, from your crimes, from the conspiracy into which you entered. There is no speed at which you can run because the consequences are coming. Your seditious conspiracy, your attempt to overthrow the United States government, and the hand and the role that you played in it are being outed. So much so that you're just admitting that you did it, but trying to mitigate your involvement by saying, but it was just for a couple of seconds. Senator Ron Johnson says he doesn't need to testify before the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol because he was only briefly involved with plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Seriously, that's what he says. And seriously, that's what the article says. The Wisconsin Republican has been under scrutiny as an alleged co-conspirator in former President Donald Trump's plot, ex-President Donald Trump's plot to overturn the results of the 2020 election. During its fourth session, the committee revealed that Johnson and his aides were involved in an attempt to deliver lists of fake electors to Vice President Mike Pence shortly before Congress was scheduled to certify the Electoral College results that would make Joe Biden president. That ultimately did make Joe Biden president. Fair and square, legally, above board, in view of public. A reporter asked Johnson, who is currently bidding for a third term, about the accusations at a campaign stop in Wisconsin. The reporter wanted Johnson to clear up questions about his involvement in the effort to get lists of fake electors from the states of Wisconsin and Michigan into Pence's hands as part of a scheme to have the Republican vice president replace legitimate lists of electors from states won by Biden with slates of Trump backers. All fraudulent, all lies, all a grift, all an attempt to overthrow the government by reinserting Donald Trump as president, even though he lost by over 7 million votes. Quote, my involvement, here we go, from Ron Johnson, quote, my involvement in that attempt to deliver spanned the course of a couple of seconds. I was only a traitor for a couple of seconds. I only entered into a seditious conspiracy for just the blink of an eye. Yet I did indeed enter into said conspiracy. I did indeed act as a traitor against my country, but only for a couple of seconds. I think I fielded 3 texts and sent 2 and talked to my chief of staff on that. Somebody wants you to deliver something. Yeah, I knew nothing about it. And in the end, those electors were not delivered because we found out from the vice president's staff they didn't want them delivered. End of story. Actually, it's not the end of the story, is what the article goes on to say. And I'm going to read that in just a moment. But So the only reason he didn't succeed in being rolled up in this plot to overturn the government for any longer was because Mike Pence said, nope, I don't want any part of that. If Mike Pence had been on board with it, the documents would have been delivered and Ron Johnson's involvement would have been longer than just a couple of seconds. As the article went on to say, actually, that's not the end of the story. Johnson clearly knew a lot about the attempt to deliver the list of fake electors to Pence. He texted and talked about it with his staff and potentially others. Presumably, he knows something about who wanted him to deliver the lists, or at least could point investigators in the direction of someone who would know. After all, longtime associates of the senator compiled the Wisconsin list, including a former national committee woman and chair of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, which I am sure Ron Johnson is very familiar with, the state party leader. They're all up to their necks in an attempt to overthrow the government, to overturn a free and fair election. There is also the undisputed fact that Johnson was willing to go along with the scheme. By all accounts, the only reason this particular component of the coup plot wasn't executed was because Pence's office refused to go along with it, as I previously stated. These people, listen, when Hillary Clinton got pilloried by Republicans for using the phrase that half of Donald Trump supporters are in a basket of deplorables or whatever she said, she wasn't wrong. They've proved themselves to be deplorable. They've proved themselves to be not above attempting insurrection against the United States, all for the benefit of their dear leader, Donald Trump, the grifter extraordinaire, the dumb shit extraordinaire. They're willing to risk their freedom for Donald Trump. Stupid and gross. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. If I do something for you, please consider supporting my work. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month, just pennies a day, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. You can also connect with me on social media. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all over the place, @Dollemore. That's my handle. Love to see you there. That's it. We are getting to the bottom of this slowly as they obstruct justice at every turn, but we will see. We'll keep following this. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.